Welcome to day number 11 of working with Mustang Cherokee.
Spotless, needed as you. Once in my life, I'm gonna see it through. You want spotless, I'll always lose. Don't want love, I want the truth.
Today, Cherokee and I had a really bad day. So, why am I sharing this with you guys? Because it's important. Okay, this is a part of horse training. So many horse trainers out there make it seem like it's all sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. They make it seem like there's like no bad days, that things just happen easily. They don't share the bad sides of horse training. And I'm trying to stop that and show you guys that there are bad sides of horse training. Okay, it's not that easy. It is a very difficult job. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have setbacks. It is just a part of life. I feel like we should embrace the bad days just as much as we should the good days, because the bad days teach us what we need to work on, right? And the thing is everybody has bad days, and we need to start normalizing that, okay? Now, maybe you're just somebody who has a horse who also had a bad day and you need some encouragement to keep going. Let this be your sign. Or maybe you're somebody who wants to be a horse trainer because it looks so fun and easy. Well, newsflash, it's not as easy as people make it look. Now that my rant is over, I am going to explain to you guys why Cherokee and I are having such a terrible day. So, first things first, I brought Cherokee into the round pen, I let him off the lead rope, and then I went to the tack room to go grab my tree pouch and my saddle, and then he just didn't want me to catch him. He's like, no, I don't want you to catch me today, Mom. And then he proceeded to go and pace the fence and call to his friends, and he just didn't really want to be caught, which is okay. Sometimes that just happens. To try and stop Cherokee's pacing, I tried to get his attention by stepping in front of the drive line. So we've talked about this before, but for those of you that don't remember, imagine there's a line from the withers to the shoulder. Anything behind that drive line is the gas pedal. Anything in front of it is the brake pedal. So what I'm doing is I'm stepping in front of that drive line, trying to encourage Cherokee to come to a stop. Cherokee does come to a stop, however, then he immediately turns around and goes the opposite direction. You're going to see this a lot throughout this video. And so what I'm doing is just very calmly, very patiently trying to walk in front of that drive line again. You'll see right here, he turns, he looks at me and actually takes a few steps towards me, so I back up. I'm trying to do what's called creating draw. I want him to learn that when he's approaching me, when he's looking at me, that is when pressure is released. Something I want to point out, I do have my tree pouch on, and I've got the exact same reinforcers I've been using since day one. You'll see here that I'm trying to coax Cherokee to come to me by holding out my hand, and you'll see that he kind of comes over, he kind of looks to the dirt, and then he just decides that he's going to go off in his own world. This could be a sign that I need a higher value reinforcer, and that basically means something that's a little bit better quality, right? Something that tastes a little bit better. This could also just be a sign that he's just not having it today, and I think it could very well be a mix of both. This behavior goes on for quite a while, and I just continue to very calmly, very patiently step in front of the drive line because patience is key. I can't really get upset or frustrated with him. He's just trying to tell me that he is having a rough time, and I'm going to respect that. So I'm going to do whatever I can to try and make this a little bit easier for him. You'll see right here that I'm able to start slowly inching towards him. I'll take a step, and then I'll take a breather, and then I'll take another step and just take a breather. And I'm trying to really slowly inch my way towards him and make sure that he's comfortable. The one thing I don't want to do is to make him feel so uncomfortable that he feels the need to run away. You'll see that he actually takes the reinforcer from my hand, which is a good thing. And then the second he takes that reinforcer, he decides that he's just gonna go off, and off he goes. I'm going to take this moment to give you guys two very popular quotes. So first off, we have "Take the Time It Takes So It Takes Less Time" by Pat Pirelli. And basically, to kind of put that into perspective into this specific situation, I'm going to take as much time as I need to make Cherokee feel comfortable being caught, okay? I'm going to do whatever I can to make this happen, and I'm not going to try and rush it. I'm not going to try and, like, do all these drastic things to try and catch him, because that's only going to make things harder, right? That's only going to cause more time, more effort, and more training later on down the road. Whereas if I take the time it takes right now, I take the patience and use this opportunity as a way to prepare him for the future, then I'm going to have less issues in the future because I'm taking the time that it takes to make him comfortable. The next quote is, "If you act like you only got 15 minutes, it's going to take all day. If you act like you got all day, it's going to take 15 minutes. And this is by Monty Roberts. Now, I bring up this quote because so many riders go into training with their horse and they think, okay, I've only got 30 minutes to do this. We're going to do what we can. But what they don't really think about is that sometimes the horse needs more than that 30 minutes, or things are going to go very differently than they want in that 30 minutes, right? And that's super important to remember because today, I went in with Cherokee like any other day. I'm hoping it'll take less than an hour to work with him, but obviously he's showing me that things are going to be a little bit different. So it's important that when you go into work with your horse, you keep in mind that things might take a little bit longer than you anticipate. And the biggest thing, you have to be patient and work on the horse's time. And then finally, there's work with the horse you have today, not the horse that you had yesterday or the day before that, by Warwick Schiller. And so in other words, this means that In our last session, Cherokee was doing wonderful, right? We got a saddle on him. The session before that, I was able to sit on his back briefly. He was doing great. Well, that was yesterday's Cherokee. That was the past Cherokee. Well, today he is showing me that he is having a really difficult time. He's showing me that he's not really interested in training. He's really stressed being away from his buddies. So today I have a very different Cherokee than I had before. And so this is a very important reminder that yes, you may have had a wonderful horse yesterday, but today you might have some setbacks. Every day, every horse is different, just like with us. Some days we're in a really good mood, other days we're in a really bad mood, and that's just how it goes. And it's the exact same thing with horses. I have to work with the Cherokee that is in front of me, not the Cherokee who accepted a saddle just the other day. Going into my training toolbox, I decide I'm going to try protected contact. Obviously, Cherokee sees me as some form of a threat when I'm in the pen. So by removing myself from the pen and having a barrier between us, this can make horses feel more comfortable because I'm not like a direct threat. So I'm going to be right here and I'm going to try and coax Cherokee over with my reinforcers. I'm going to shake my treat bag. I'm going to try and ask him to come and target my hand. And unfortunately, I have no success. So I'm about an hour and a half into this session, and we have made absolutely no progress. So I decide I'm just going to grab one of my books, sit in the middle of the round pen, and wait. So what I'm looking for here is I'm either looking for Cherokee to come and approach me of his own free will, or I'm going to use this as kind of like a recess, right, where he can kind of take a moment to just, I'm not asking anything of him. He can just breathe. He can relax, try and calm his mind a little bit, and in 30 minutes to an hour, we'll come back, and I'll try and catch him and at least make some form of progress with him. I do still have my tree pouch on me and my reinforcers because if he does decide to approach, I want to make sure that those reinforcers are there to show him that I am full of pleasurable stimuli and I'm truly not here to hurt him. While we wait, I'd like to recommend this book. It's called Suffering in Silence by Joshin Schließ, and it is all about saddle fit, tack, equipment, rider anatomy, equine anatomy, and it has been a huge help as I do my research into the next book that I'm working on, which is all about treed versus treeless saddles. So definitely keep an eye out for that, but definitely go and check out Joshin's book as I love it so far. After about another hour in the round pen, Cherokee isn't pacing the fence as closely. He's not right up against it, and he's not trotting. In fact, he's starting to come a little bit closer to me, which I think is a good sign. Another thing that is a good sign is that he actually rolled, and so when a horse rolls, they're in a vulnerable position, and they have to feel safe with their surroundings. And so he felt safe enough with me just sitting there that he felt like he could roll. So that's a good thing as well. Just as he started to calm down and approach me, his herd members called to him, and he called back. Before I knew it, he had become anxious all over again and was trotting the fence and pacing the fence, and this right here is another sign that he struggles with buddy sourness, which I've kind of known since the very beginning, but that's the nice thing about bad days is that you kind of start to get more of an idea of things that you need to work on, and buddy sourness and catching and confidence is definitely on our list of things to work on. It's important to remember that when setbacks like these happen, you ask yourself what could have contributed to the setback, okay? Did the weather change? Was it potentially handler error? Did the horse play too hard in the pasture? Are they sore? Are they in pain? There's so many different reasons why a setback like this could happen. As for Cherokee, I'm not too entirely sure why he has had such a setback today. The weather really hasn't changed. He did absolutely phenomenal in the past few sessions, and on top of that, from what I have seen, he does not seem to be sore or in pain at all because he's able to run and pace, and there could be more of an underlying issue, but at this moment, I'm really not sure what has caused this setback. As we continued to lose daylight, my barn owner came over and tried to help, and unfortunately, he had very little success as well. So, at least we gave it a shot. After another 30 to 45 minute recess, Cherokee finally lets me catch him. Now, what are my next steps from here? All I'm basically going to do is I'm going to take Cherokee to the bucket I was sitting on, and I'm going to pick up my book and keep reading. Why am I going to do this? Because I don't want Cherokee to just associate me with work, okay? One of the reasons why he could have had this setback is because every time I've caught him, I've asked him to do something. Now, I've applied a lot of positive reinforcement, lots of pleasurable stimuli, but he could associate me with work, and that's okay. So by just catching him and sitting on this bucket shows him that he doesn't have to do anything. He's able to just stand and do nothing, and I literally mean absolutely no harm. You can still see that Cherokee is a little bit restless. He's a little confused as to why we're just standing there doing nothing, and it doesn't help that his friends are calling to him again. So I'm just going to continue to sit here. I'm going to hold that lead rope. I'm going to talk to him in a calm, loving voice, and I'm just going to try to reassure him that I'm okay. I'm not going to make him work. I'm not going to make him do anything drastic. I just want him to sit and exist with me. On my website, I have 10 training principles, and these are things that I live by every single day when training horses at Wild Child. And one of those principles is connection over control. So many people in the equine industry want to control their horses, right? They have this philosophy that, like, they ride the horse doesn't ride them, and they just, they discipline their horses. They have this need to constantly be in control. And the reality of it is, horses are 1,200-pound animals. We will never be fully in control of them. They are always going to be stronger than us. They can always best us in a fight. But the thing is if we want a horse that we can trust, a horse that we can go and do things on, we have to build some sort of a connection, right? We want that horse to trust us enough that in a scary situation, they're like, okay, wait, I'm with mom. Mom's got me. Mom will protect me, right? We want to be able to build that relationship that the horse will find comfort and confidence in you. And when you have that relationship, it's a truly wonderful thing because you can go and do all kinds of things. You can encounter scary things and get through them because there's that bond and that relationship between you and the horse. I have developed that bond with my personal horses and the sanctuary horses. Now it's time to continue working on that bond with Cherokee. Obviously, he has already started to trust me a lot more compared to when we started. I am able to do things with him, and he's let me put a saddle on and sit on him, but today was just a really bad day. Today was a day where he showed me, like, look, Mom, I know that we've been doing this for a little bit, but I still really don't trust you all that much. And so from that point forward, I've learned a lot from this session. I've learned some things that we need to work on. I've learned that we definitely need to work on catching. We need to work on his confidence in myself, his confidence in him as well. And there's just a lot of things that we need to work on. So summarize the whole session. Bad days happen. Shit happens. It's important that we take a step back, see what we can learn from it, see what we may have done to make the situation worse, what we could do better next time, and just reflect on it. Okay, don't beat yourself up over a bad day, though. Everybody has them. It's not the end of the world. It's a bad day, not a bad life. Before we close off this video, don't forget to go and check out our books. I've got 3 books on the shelf, and they are all on a variety of topics relating to horses. We also have a podcast out there. It is about the life lessons horses have to teach us. And we also have a merch store, so you can go and get some cool fancy merch, sport it, send us a picture of you wearing it, and we'll give you a discount on your next purchase. With that being said, I'd like to give y'all a friendly reminder that all of the pictures and videos, all of the content you see at Wild Child is funded by myself. I like to do this at absolutely no cost to you guys because the world is so expensive right now, and I really just want to help make a better world for the horses we all love so much. However, if you would like to help financially support the sanctuary horses, the materials we need to make and edit these videos, I have a list of different ways that you can donate. I'm not a registered nonprofit. I'm just an LLC trying to make a living, support the animals, and help horses and humans overcome their problems while advocating for kinder, more humane horsemanship methods. With that being said, if you have not already, please hit the red subscribe button. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, our podcast, and all of the many, many other things that we have available. Thank you all for watching. Stay strong, stay true, stay wild, and we'll see y'all next time.